Do you think you truly know Sonic, that charismatic, speedy blue hedgehog, always ready to save the world? Think again, because maybe you've never stopped to question who really is Sonic. He's always been portrayed as a hero, a symbol of freedom, adventure, and rebellion. But is that the whole truth? Or are we looking at a carefully constructed lie meant to hide something much darker? The answer might be scarier than you imagine. Since his creation in 1991, Sonic hasn't just been a character. He was a direct response to Mario, a bold competitor created to dominate the video game world. But what few people know is that behind the scenes, Sonic's conception was marked by disputes, scrapped ideas, and dark decisions that completely changed what the character could have been. The Sonic you know today is not the Sonic that was originally created. The early drafts of Sonic depicted a much more aggressive character. His features were darker, and his behavior wasn't exactly friendly. There was an implicit layer of violence in his attitude. This was erased during development, but did these traits disappear completely? Or are they still there, hidden in the code, between the lines of the stories, waiting to be discovered? Sonic has always been seen as the hero who defies the system, but could this rebellion be hiding a darker side? Sega promoted Sonic as a radical character, someone who breaks the rules. But think about it. Why would a hero need to be so defiant? From the beginning, Sonic was designed to be the opposite of Mario. If Mario was friendly, Sonic was irreverent. If Mario was stable, Sonic was unstable. But this rebellion might reflect something much more sinister. In the early games, Sonic destroys Eggman's machines to free trapped animals. But have you ever stopped to think about what Sonic is really doing? He invades factories, destroys entire mechanical ecosystems without caring about the consequences. Eggman, on the other hand, is portrayed as the villain. But what does he really do? He creates robots and builds. Eggman is a scientist, a creator. Sonic is a destroyer. Who's truly the villain here? This perspective becomes even darker when we notice that in many games, Sonic never tries to talk or understand Eggman's motivations. He simply attacks. What if Eggman was trying to protect the world from something Sonic represents? Maybe Sonic isn't just an adventurer. Maybe he's an agent of chaos, acting under orders he himself doesn't understand. Sonic Xe, a glitch or the truth? Most believe that this evil version of Sonic originated as a creepypasta, a fan-made horror story. But what if I told you there's evidence that something similar once existed within Sega's own files? Various reports from anonymous developers mention that during the creation of old Sonic games, strange files appeared in the systems. Distorted images of Sonic with black bleeding eyes, audio files with voices whispering in unknown languages, and even inaccessible levels with completely out-of-context environments. Were these just glitches, or was someone inside Sega trying to include something that wasn't supposed to be there? Fans who explored the code of older games found corrupted files that, when accessed, displayed altered versions of levels. In these stages, Sonic stood motionless, staring directly at the player. Strange sounds, almost like muffled screams, played in the background. Was it a bug or a message? Sega has never spoken about it, and silence might be the most terrifying confirmation of all. Even in the most recent games, there are disturbing elements that go unnoticed by most players. Have you ever played Sonic CD? There's a hidden screen that displays a distorted face of Sonic with unsettling music playing in the background, and the message, "Infinite Fun, Sega Enterprises." Gee, why does this screen exist? Infinite fun or a veiled threat? In Sonic Adventure DX, there are reports of players encountering characters standing in unusual positions, staring directly at Sonic for no apparent reason. Some say these interactions weren't programmed but appeared after certain specific sequences in the game. Coincidence? Or something more? And there's more. The background music in some stages seems to contain hidden audio elements. When slowed down or reversed, strange sounds emerge, as if someone is trying to communicate something. Who would include these details in a children's game? What would be the purpose? Maybe the answer lies in what was never shown to us. Now think about the relationship between Sonic and Dr. Eggman. It's always been presented as a simple rivalry between hero and villain. But what if that narrative is a lie? What if Eggman isn't the villain, but rather a misunderstood hero? There are theories suggesting that Eggman tried to prevent Sonic from accessing ancient powers that could destroy the world. Sonic seeks the Chaos Emeralds, sources of unlimited energy. Eggman, on the other hand, always tries to capture them. But was he after the power for himself, or was he trying to prevent Sonic from using it? Sonic becomes invincible with these emeralds. Doesn't that make you think he could be a threat? Eggman creates robots to fight Sonic. But what if these robots weren't weapons, but containment barriers? Eggman might have been trying to save the world from a force he knew was uncontrollable. Sonic may have never been the hero of this story. Behind the scenes at Sega, many projects were cancelled or altered without explanation. One of them was the mysterious project Sonic Demon, a supposed game that would explore Sonic's darker side, but was cancelled without a trace. Leaks suggest that the game involved Sonic being corrupted by a malevolent entity. Why was this project cancelled? Did Sega realize it was going too far in exploring the character's true dark side? Or was it a decision to hide something that almost got revealed? Have you heard of the hidden zones? These hidden areas within Sonic games seem like simple errors or discarded stages. But what if I told you these zones aren't accidental? What if they were deliberately created to hide messages, secrets, or even warnings? In older games like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, there are incomplete levels in the game files that never appear during regular gameplay. Some of these zones, like the famous Hidden Palace Zone, were removed before the game's release. But why? Officially, Sega claimed these levels were cut due to time constraints. But that doesn't explain the strange sounds and disturbing graphics found in them. Players who explored these levels using cheats or hacks report empty environments with distorted music and misplaced objects. In some of these zones, Sonic seems to have no control, moving on his own or freezing abruptly. There are records of sounds that don't belong to the game, like whispers, distant laughter, and even the sound of a heartbeat. In Sonic CD, there's a secret screen where Sonic's bizarre face appears with black eyes and a Japanese message that can be translated as infinite fun. Sega claims it's just an inside joke. But is it really? Or could it be a message for those daring enough to explore too much? The hidden zones might be more than discarded content. They could be parts of a game never meant to be seen. Fragments of a story Sega wanted to bury. What if these zones contain pieces of a truth they tried to hide? In every game, Sonic seeks these emeralds to defeat his enemies. But have you ever wondered why Sonic needs this power so badly? What if these emeralds weren't just sources of energy, but instruments of mind control? The Chaos Emeralds possess limitless energy and can transform Sonic into Super Sonic, an even more powerful and uncontrollable version of himself. But what if, by absorbing this power, Sonic isn't becoming stronger but is being manipulated by a greater force? Every time Sonic uses the emeralds, he becomes more aggressive, more destructive. Isn't that strange? Theories suggest the emeralds are artifacts created by an ancient civilization to control powerful beings. Eggman, aware of this, tries to capture them, not out of greed, but to prevent Sonic from falling under this influence. Imagine Sonic never had full control over his actions. Maybe his rebellion, uncontrollable speed, and destruction are symptoms of something greater. Some games show Sonic losing control when using the emeralds, like in Sonic and the Secret Rings, where he exhibits uncontrollable rage. This behavior doesn't seem typical of a hero. What if Sonic was just a puppet, manipulated by these cosmic forces. Maybe Sonic never fought the true villain, because he himself might be the villain.